This is Tony Ibitoye TV. Welcome to What's on My Mind. Today, I will be speaking about the Nigeria Premier Football League. If you are a follower of domestic football in Nigeria, you will agree with me that the Nigeria Premier Football League 2025-2026 season is gradually grinding to the end. We had match day 34 last weekend, and this weekend we'll be looking forward to match day 35. And what that essentially means is that we have just 4 more match days to the end of the season. So today, this video will be looking at the season in its entirety, and also be looking at what the possibilities are for the teams at the top and the teams at the middle of the log, and of course the teams at the bottom of the log. Before I go any further, let me just ask that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our videos, share those videos, and click the notification bell so that when a new video drops, you are one of the first people to know about it. So essentially, the question that defines what's on my mind this time around is this: is the Nigeria Premier Football League the most competitive league in the world? That's the question. Because when you look at the log, look at the standings of the teams after match day 34, with just 4 games to go for each of the teams, it is still very difficult to predict which teams are going down. Although you could, guess the teams that will finish in the top 3, but outside of that, it's difficult to predict where every other team will be placed. And that's because the gap between the teams at the top and the teams at the bottom is so small, and in 4 games, that gap can be wiped out. So essentially, is the Nigeria Premier Football League the toughest league in the world? I'm not talking about the quality of the football. I'm not talking about the quality of the stars or the teams. I'm just talking about the gap on the log, the teams going down and the teams that want to finish in the continental places. All right, take a look at the results of matches played, match day 34 games played over the weekend. And then you will look at it and see that the pattern looks like the same. Teams win their games at home or draw, and only one lost the game at home, and that was Bayelsa United losing to Wiki Tourist. And then that's been the pattern. Away victories have become difficult to come by. It has reduced, although you still find 1 or 2 teams picking points away from home. So the discussion is, with the way things are going, can we describe the Nigeria Premier Football League as the toughest and the most competitive league in the world? Take a look at the team placed 7th on the log, Bendel Insurance, and take a look at the team that is bottom of the log. The gap between the bottom team and the team placed 7th on the log is just 10 points. And that's like 3 games and 1 draw. So it means that anything can still happen for every of these teams, even from position 5, 6, 7 to position 18, 19, 20. And there's another thing that I think is important right now for the organizers of the league. In the last 2 match days, the armor of the Nigeria Premier Football League has fallen on 3 clubs: Rangers International of Enugu, Nasarawa United, and Bendel Insurance. And the armor has fallen on these 3 clubs for similar offenses: crowd violence, inability to control people from getting into technical areas, and of course, assaults on match officials and officials of the visiting teams. And for me, that underlines the fact that the Nigeria Premier Football League now needs to monitor the remaining games of the season very carefully. It looks like as we are getting towards the end of the season, teams are becoming a little bit more desperate for points because they either want to finish in the continental places or want to avoid going down. So that's one thing that the management of the Nigeria Premier Football League will need to take very seriously. Closely monitor the teams and ensure that there is a level playing field for everybody. Ensure there is no assault, ensure there is no crowd violence, ensure there is no unsportsmanlike behavior from any of the teams. And that's why you see that Rangers are going to be playing the rest of their games, home games this season behind closed door. Nasarawa United are going to be playing the rest of their home games this season behind closed doors. And Insurance of Benin are also going to be playing the rest of their home games this season behind closed doors. We don't want to see those kind of situations, denying your fans of the opportunity to help you, to push you to success just because of crowd violence. Another advice for the Nigeria Premier Football League is that now is the time for us to get our best referees to handle the remaining games of the season. These are very dicey games. These are very crucial games. Everybody wants to win to stay up, to avoid a drop, or to get into the continental position. So the Nigeria Premier Football League have a responsibility to ensure that we get our best referees to handle these high pressure games. Referees who are going to be above board, who are not going to be compromised, who are going to be able to rise above intimidation and whatever is thrown at them and be able to give us good games that Nigerians will be proud of. And finally, if the Nigeria Premier Football League can ensure that all of this is done and we provide a level playing field for all of our teams, then we can be sure that our best teams will finish in the continental places, and only the teams that deserve to go down will eventually end up in the relegation zone. As I wrap up this video, let me also talk about the scorers chart, as it is with the league standing of the teams, so it is with the goal scorers chart. It is so close, it is so tight. One goal separates the top scorer from the chasing pack. Right now, Joseph Arumala of Ikorodu City is the top scorer with 12 goals. But the likes of Gordon Obadje and some of the other guys in the chasing pack are knocking on the door. So it is not cast in stone. One more goal and they are all level with the number of goals they've scored. So it is also very, very tight. But for me, I think the standout player for this season in terms of goal scoring has been Joseph Arumala of Ikorodu City. He stepped into the shoes left by the likes of Shola Adelani, who left Ikorodu last season, and he stepped up and took up the goal scoring responsibility. But the likes of Gordon Obadje will eventually have a lot to say at the end of the season about the goal scorers chart. So as you can see, the goal scorers chart is also very close, very tight. But the question is, at the end of the season, by the time we are wrapping up after March day 38, who will emerge the top scorer of the NPFL 2025-2026 season? All right, so that for me caps up this video. Again, let me ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like and share our videos, and click on the notification bell. We'll be here in another video to look at what has been happening around the Nigeria Premier Football League, particularly as we close in on the end of the season. We still have match day 35, 36, 37, and 38. Who will stay up? Who will go down? You could as well go on to the comment section and drop your views about it. See you in another video.